welcome to Scoundrels, Inc. Today on May the 4th. May the 4th be with all of you.
May the 4th be with you.
Wow, you guys have like a list since the last time
we didn't even introduce you, Kevin. You're off camera right now, son of a bitch.
Oh, what the fuck?
Why is Kevin off camera?
No one told me.
Because we're going to do an introduction.
I should be on camera all the time.
You're not even on camera right now.
You know what, Kevin? Why don't you introduce the show?
Okay, hi everybody. I'm the disembodied voice of Kevin.
Well, you're not disembodied now.
No, if you're
well, now I'm on.
Why yeah, now you're. Well, yeah, because
you put me on. Are you just gonna do this all night? Welcome to Scoundrels Inc. Click the subscribe button, click the like button, go to the Discord. We got so much activity going on over there. Our Twitter is blowing up. Oh my God, you wouldn't believe it. Followers upon followers. And we didn't even get a blue check mark, right? Or did we? I don't even know.
No.
It's like the Alderaan of Twitter.
The Alderaan of Twitter. I am your host, Heather Locklear, along with my
future friend of the show.
Future friend of the show. We got Mr. Sean Sullivan. Say hello, Sean.
Hi.
Mr. Frank Janish. Say hi, Frank.
Hi, Frank.
Candle laughter right there.
Brandon, the hot man. Hannah, which I must say before anything we start tonight, every point of opinion, we got to follow and listen to Mr. Brandon Hannah because, and I'm not allowed to say specifics, but let's just say our scoundrel actually got a job. He's working in space now. No joke.
I got a new job.
Okay, well, dang, this is how I find out?
Yes.
I knew you were applying for the job.
It's an ambush. It's a trap.
Yeah. You knew it was going well.
I did. Yeah.
He got the
and
job,
you got a cat.
dude.
I did get a cat also. And his name is Clem, named after Clem Andor.
No,
That's right.
Really?
But Sabrina believes it's actually named after
Clementine.
Oh. Yeah, my
She
wife
can think whatever
thinks
she
Kira's
wants.
actually not named after Kira from Solo, a Star Wars story, but we won't tell her.
Right.
But yeah,
Well,
he's working in space now. I can't say specifics, or he can.
Congratulations, Brandon.
I'll let him
Thank
talk.
you. It's very new. Happened very fast.
Very fast. Very dangerous.
Oh.
Wow.
It's like the Malastera jobs.
Don't do that again. I can't
Well,
grab your tongue from here, but I would.
Speaking of fast and dangerous,
Scoundrels.
What's up?
Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Jedi Survivor, guys. It's out. It's super clean. It's super efficient.
Yes.
It's super playable on all platforms.
Yeah, I
Right?
came on the show today as an intervention. The three of us wanted to talk to you, Frank. You shouldn't be sitting at a computer for 7 hours without getting up, moving your legs, stretching a little bit. People like in Koreatown and Japan, they die when they play those like overnight like binge sessions because they get blood clots in their legs. So are you going around? Are you doing loops and stuff?
Yeah. Well, actually, I'm not even at a computer. I'm playing on a PlayStation 5, so problem solved.
Oh, good. Then you're fine.
Yeah.
Kevin, I had you on the stream the other day. Brandon,
Yeah.
you're always welcome. I had Frank on the stream last night. And Frank saw me hit the delirium point.
Yeah,
at some point,
and we also started coming up with like gamer medical condition terminology. He got finger fatigued.
I was finger fatigued,
and he got gamered.
I had a serious case of Gamergate.
No, you did not have Gamergate. Trust me.
Is that like Deflategate?
But my favorite, by the way,
like
I popped into one of Frank's streams. And, I like the ones where it's like 30 seconds long and you just know, oh, this one didn't go well. And he didn't delete it off the channel. So you're like, this is just Frank's growing pains with the stream. But my favorite is someone in the chat. One time Frank kept dying and he was getting frustrated. Someone wrote, Frank's block button must be broken.
Yeah, that's definitely Reefton. That sounds like a Reefton line.
Got
him.
He got me good. He got me good. But I've been streaming the game. Sean's been streaming the game. Everyone's been streaming the game.
One of us has had more success than the other.
I don't know. I believe I progressed further into the game than you until recently.
Do you know Brandon?
I don't know. How are we measuring success?
Yeah, because I have a rule that when you start streaming, generally I stop streaming and direct everyone to go watch it.
I appreciate it.
Brandon actually on the drive over was playing the game on mobile.
Yeah, in the car.
Yes, that's true.
Mobile, just like
the
Joe.
way that Cameron Monaghan intended.
Yeah.
Also, I was wearing a poncho.
Oh.
I knew you were going to say a poncho joke. I just knew that was coming.
Now, we're not going to get super spoilery or deep into Jedi Survivor talk. So we're just kind of give you our
Palpatine returned.
Right. he's been back, yeah. We're just going to give you our first impressions of the game and how we're playing it.
I don't think I could do any impressions of someone in the game.
Well, yeah, not yet.
Is Kermit the Frog in the game?
No.
No. Thank
Jar
you.
Jar is though. You can play as Jar
No,
Jar.
Jar. Well,
Hello, it's me, the Ninth Sister. I'm here to kill you, Jedi scum.
oh my god.
Oh, brother. How
I feel like
When people at home don't realize that before we were recording, it was the Kermit and Mickey and Frank show for like 45 minutes, and I literally wanted to blow my brains out.
Kirby and Mickett. That's the name of the show.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
Kirby and Mickett.
So, well, I couldn't say the real names because of copyright. I don't want the house.
Those
on
sound
mouse.
like Star Wars characters, actually. To be honest.
Yeah, you know what?
It sounds
Also,
like
actually,
a limited series run on Dark Horse Comics.
Sean, first impressions of Jedi Survivor.
I am loving this game. I've had my save file deleted at least once.
Fun.
Sorry,
I've had lots of crashes.
my bad.
I've had lots of frame rate issues
That's your own
because
fault.
I'm playing on the PC. And even the parts I've had to replay multiple times, I've now replayed certain parts of this game 4 times.
You might say you're a master.
Yeah, I had to up the difficulty because the game's too easy.
The game's too easy for Sean.
The game
Whereas
is-
if you watch one of my streams, you're like, "Who is this jabroni? Why are you even doing this? Why are you embarrassing yourself?
We're gonna
Why
put
is Reeftown just roasting you in the chat
we're gonna
every
to
day?
be fair, Reeftown roasts everyone.
Hey, intermittently throughout this broadcast, a friend of mine is actually at a pub down the street that's doing Star Wars trivia, and I can't go because we're recording. And so he's been sending me the questions. Oh my god! If any of us were there right now,
Oh my god!
Throw it. I gotta throw you the. I hate. I'm not trying to derail, but
No,
that's
do
what I
it.
do. I always derail. He's sending me these. So the first one was a picture of Bib Fortuna, and he was like, "Who's this guy?" And I'm like, "Bib Fortuna."
Easy.
Matthew
But the
Wood.
next one was, what is the name of Princess Leia's home planet in Star Wars?
Oh my god!
So I sent that.
Tatooine,
So
obviously.
This guy.
bro.
So,
Wallace Massa.
that's actually true. Can you imagine?
Ooh,
Yeah, Wednesdays at 7 p.m. So
Kevin,
I'm gonna,
do you want the canon or the Legends answer?
yeah,
Oh.
should I say that to this guy? What are you talking about? But he's gonna win, bro. I'll get a half winning. So okay, continue. Sorry.
So,
Yeah, I love the game. I'm pretty decently into it. I've also explored a hell of a lot more than you have.
yes, you have.
Which both helps me and also explains why I've been playing so much and not that far into the game. But it's fucking brilliant, man. Everything about it is so good. Like the combat is just evolved from what it was. I don't love the story as much.
Okay.
I like the spectacle, but I feel like the first game did not have as much spectacle. It was a lot more down to earth. It was a lot more. It felt like you were on an archaeological expedition. This game doesn't feel like that.
Even with all the exploring you're doing.
Yeah,
Interesting,
I legitimately
interesting.
Feel that way because you are following someone in this game. You are not following the path of someone.
Yeah.
So in the first game, you're following the path of Cordova.
Right.
Of Jedi Master Eno Cordova, who is missing. Missing and presumed dead.
Spoiler alert. Just kidding.
That's spoiler for the first game. If you
I know,
haven't
I'm
played
joking.
if you haven't played the first game, I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. And eventually, there's the whole holocron issue in the first game.
right.
All of that feels way more personal, way more in depth. There's the question of Seer Junda returning to becoming a Jedi. Like, there's all these moralistic questions. Now, I will say, I just got to the point in this game where there is a moralistic question and a moralistic quandary that Cal faces.
Death sticks or no death sticks?
Death sticks or no death sticks.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, by the way, as someone who actually experienced the whole story of the game with someone who had their path, right? Does this game offer you that? Are there like alternate endings? Where is it like KOTOR or is it not?
In this one, I don't think so.
Okay.
Well, in this one, I don't know. Right? In the first game, there is not. In the first game, the character makes the decision of whether or not to destroy a holocron that has the locations of Jedi younglings. Because the question of the first game is, should they reestablish the Jedi Order or allow it to stay dead in order to protect the Jedi younglings from the Inquisition and Darth Vader?
Okay.
Because in this game, you start off, at least like just surface level, is like Cal is just like trying to take pot shots at the Empire every which way he can.
Exactly. And everyone else has kind of moved on to other spots
Yeah.
in their life.
A little arrogant to think you could rebuild the Jedi Order.
Why?
Even Luke can't do it.
I was gonna say
Only
even
Ray-
Luke
only
admitted,
Ray can
even
do it.
Luke admitted that he had hubris when he was trying
Did you
to
guys
do it.
see the Sam Witwer video?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I want to talk about that.
I do too.
I don't know.
We'll get there. We'll get there. But I want to finish up on your Survivor thoughts.
So I feel like Survivor, the story is really interesting. It ties to the High Republic. I really enjoy that. I really like seeing those elements being brought in. I do think that there is a bit of a moral question in this game, but not as much as the first game. The moral question is a lot more personal for Cal. It's a lot more about the things Cal's experienced in his life and how they impact him now. I don't know that the grand thrust of the story I care about nearly as much as I did in the first game. That being said, I'm having way more fun playing it.
Yeah.
Right. So like, and I love the first game.
Mm-hmm.
This game is a fucking blast, man. Like,
This. Yippee! So yes, definitely.
yeah,
that.
there is a scene. There is a scene where you legitimately go, "This is pod racing."
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah, you know the pod racing scene.
Yeah, actually, I've clipped it out.
It has
it's on the
nothing to
channel.
do with
Yeah.
pod racing, guys. If you want to know, go check out the clips. No, it's actually just a video, right?
Yeah, just a
It's
video.
it's like 5 minutes
It's like
long, 4 minutes long.
Yeah, yeah.
I would like to see pod racing.
Well,
I'll
it's not.
settle for riot racing.
It's more of a this is pod racing thing,
Yeah.
right? Because when Anakin says now this is pod racing, he's not talking about pod racing,
No.
right? It's
Admittedly,
a metaphor.
I still say that all the time if I'm weaving in and out of traffic, and my wife will always look at me like, "What are you doing?"
I read a book. I read a book. I read a book in high school.
Congratulations.
Called How to Read Literature Like a Professor.
Okay.
You read a book that taught you how to read?
Yes. Now, chapter 16.
Droids making droids.
Chapter
How
7.
perverse.
Funny you should say that because chapter
Oh
16
my
of this
God,
book was
you
called
guys.
Everything is About Sex.
Okay.
And chapter 17 was called Unless It Isn't. But I feel like
No means no.
I feel like in Star Wars, everything is about pod racing,
Okay. All
right?
right.
Except pod racing,
Sure.
right? I mean,
Got it.
Pod racing is about betting everything on Sebulba.
Yeah.
Sebulba always wins.
So, like you, I'm having a ton of fun playing this game. I think the combat overall is immensely improved from Fallen Order, and it's interesting that you say that you prefer the story of Fallen Order, but it sounds like you prefer the gameplay
100%.
in Survivor. And it seems like to me that back in the day when did Fallen Order come out? 2015, right? Perhaps. And also, sort of given the stage in which Cal is in, so it kind of makes sense for the story to impact the type of gameplay you can do and the level of his Force abilities. Because in Survivor, man, you're picking up right where you left off, plus more, which has been a lot of fun to start off right off the bat. It made a lot of sense in Fallen Order to kind of like get back into the swing of things
Fallen
in
Order came
that
out that
story.
long ago?
The what?
Fallen Order came out that
Yeah,
long
it's
ago?
been a long time.
When Fallen Order came out, it was right before the first Star Wars tournament.
It's
Jeez.
what's crazy is after watching, and just to clear, or to be forthright here, I suck at video games, and I also have a child, so I can't play a game that would take 30 or 40 hours. So
And you could, but it'd take you like 5 years. Probably,
yeah,
to
it really. If you knew, like, I got an Xbox Series X. The Hogwarts game is still sealed. The only game I play is Paw
Yeah,
Patrol.
because you wouldn't want to support JK. Just to clarify, none of the hosts of this game or any of our family members would buy, support, or pay for any game that has to do with J.K. Rowling or other turf members of the public.
Well, I feel like there are like 100 people that worked on that game that probably.
Yeah, I
deserve
understand.
the
I
accolades
understand.
for that, so.
I understand that, Kevin. But I just
And
want to make
one
sure
person shouldn't decide that.
right. I understand that, but I just want to make sure that our podcast makes a stand on that,
Sure.
Oh, that's what your stand is? Oh.
just in case.
Well, regardless, all I play is Paw Patrol, and there's a Disneyland game where you walk around, and Kira loves that. So,
Oh, Jill's been playing that.
yeah, it's actually pretty cool. But
It's like Disneyland Animal Crossing.
it's
Oh
like
my gosh.
full on. It's crazy. So, anyways, long story short, I did sit, and it felt like opening night watching a Star Wars movie. The night that it came out. So, like, before all of you guys, like, I don't know how someone already had it. There was like a 3 hour and 40 minute cut down version. Now it skips all of your like exploring and everything like that. It doesn't only do the cutscenes though. Like there were battles, like he would show.
It does clipped versions of like in-game moments.
And I'll tell you, like the reason I bring it up now is at the end of it, I looked up how long ago Fallen Order was because I cannot wait for the next one. Like I'm all in on the story, and like I was joking with Sean on his stream. I'm like, it's funny because like I can't like relate to you guys and be like, oh yeah, that one that temple was hard. Like I got stolen valor here. You know what that is? It's like you go into like a reunion and you have like your fake rank,
right.
Serving the military. Like it is stolen valor. I didn't deserve or earn any of it, but I got to experience the story. I'm just gonna say for everyone who has not been spoiled yet, you're in for a hell of a ride. Like it is really good. There are some emotional moments where I like got myself like a little choked up, and I remember watching the long play or the movie version of the first one, and it didn't grip me that much. So I can't wait for you guys to fully finish it, and we do like a storyline because I won't offer that much with the game. But what's cool is I hear things like where Frank talks about like I can't wait till at the end of the game. When I'm done beating it, I can go do the exploring because like when I watch you guys, that's the cool thing about your streams is like. Most of the times when I pop into your streams to see where you guys are, I don't recognize any of it. That's how big the game is. Like you guys are doing a lot of these things where it's not even part of the overall like story. So, but it's a great storyline. Oh, and I must ask, Wicket is a Star Wars character of what type of species?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, is he a Toydarian? Mind tricks don't work on him, right?
Only the money. Only the money.
More money.
No parts, no
parts.
deal.
They are in 6th place right now, but we'll get them to the top here.
What?
Well, he just started asking me questions he didn't know until my friend texted him.
Oh my gosh.
Should I go down there right now? I'll be back in like 40 minutes.
Yeah. So what I'll also say is I'm having such a great time with the gameplay, even though I suck. But I'm getting better, I feel like. Anyways,
you suck, bro.
thing.
You suck.
Yeah, I do. I'm not shy about that. Like,
I watched Sean and you
but I'm still
die
gonna
once.
do
I watched
it.
you and you died like 4 times. I'm sorry.
That's all you
I
saw?
would be really bad.
That's all you saw?
I'd be really bad.
To be fair, I fought an iconic monster from a Star Wars movie, and it killed me a lot.
Yeah.
It killed me a lot.
Mouse droid.
The mouse droid. The mouse droid fucked me up.
Dude,
So-
that secret boss, the mouse droid, is really hard to beat.
So what I'll also say is, in terms of kind of what you were going off of, Sean, the gameplay. It seems like back then for Fallen Order, maybe they put more effort and relied more on the storytelling, and then because of what they're able to do on the next gen console and everything that Cal can do in this part of his story in terms of like Force plays into the gameplay, they were just like, let's up the gameplay by like 1,000,000. And yeah, we still want to have a compelling story. They should totally do that. And I say that as someone who hasn't really progressed too far. I feel like at least into the main story. I'm starting to get there.
From what I'm being told, we're almost done with the story.
Well, if that's true, then
We are more than halfway. We are more than halfway done with the story.
Wow. Okay. Well,
many hours have you guys
that is
played
true.
it?
That I'm going to have some very interesting thoughts by the time we get to this.
I've played
And
about 36 to 40 hours in total.
I'm about 26 hours.
But
yeah.
I have 2 save files, and I've also replayed parts of the game multiple times.
Yeah, I'm 26 hours into it, but there's like at least
A
4
lot
to
of that
5
is dying
hours
to the
of
same
just
room.
dying and being in the same. Yeah. So probably like 20 hours, let's just say, of like, hey, I was progressing at a rapid pace.
You
but I also
imagine
say,
if the movie versions of that, like people would die and then like they would respawn. And you're like in the movie, you're like, wait, what?
yeah, I will say there's one part in
So I did that
the
with
game that I
Applejack.
did clip out that's on the channel that just completely blew me away. I was like, if this is like how the rest of the game is with some of these spots that really have a climactic moment to part of your mission or whatever, like this game is going to be. I was already having a blast playing the game, but then you get to this part with Marin, and it's just a thrill ride. It's so fun.
It literally is like I know exactly what you're talking about, and it's like a Disneyland attraction.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Like this should
Yeah.
totally be a ride. My roommate Esther said it was like, make this a ride. You can even hear them on the clip. But
Celebration, they did talk about how Star Tours is expanding, and they're probably going to put Disney Plus stuff. And I would hope they would do something with like for Star Tours anyway. So they might get a little Cal Kestis in there.
that would be they got to do because I'm really loving the character of Cal. I like how he's progressed at this where he's at
Could
in this
that
stage
be
of his story.
The first live action appearance of Cal Kestis is on Star Tours.
Oh my gosh.
Possibly.
That would be
Possibly.
wild.
Possibly. He's got to be wearing a poncho.
I want BD1. I don't give a shit about Captain.
Yeah, BD1. Yeah,
BD1 also in my 3 hours of watching it. I understand why you guys would get attached to him playing.
Yeah.
You got one of his cousins in the Mandalorian. It's fine.
But yeah, I need more interaction between BD1 and a Grogu. Like put that in Star
That could
Tours.
just be BD1.
That'd be dark. That'd be dark.
She's got R5 and BD1.
She's collecting all the white and red droids.
Right.
Is
But I will
R4 going to show up next? R4?
I knew that was coming. I
Dead
knew
as
that
hell.
was coming.
Droids could come back, bro. It's just a couple wires and nuts and bolts.
Okay, hold on. Just my final thoughts on the overall thoughts on Survivor. If you're waiting for like the patches, I understand, but man, play the game if you really want to play the game.
I'm having a lot worse time than Frank is as far as
I'm playing on PS5.
Game
Sean's on
stability
PC.
goes. It's totally worth it with the game stability issues.
Sean, did you lose save? Like you lost progress?
I lost 6 hours of progress.
Brutal.
So,
but
that
the
sucks.
good part is the game is still fun to play.
Yeah, it was so fun to replay those parts.
Yeah.
Because I had 2 save files, and both save files were at the same spot, and I lost 6 hours of progress on both of them.
That's
They had a huge glitch on KOTOR back in the day, and it happened to our household, and we just left it overnight. So if you went into this cutscene and one of your characters had stealth activated, in order to progress in the game, the way the dialogue scenes work is they're actually rolling the dice even in dialogue scenes, right? And so your character that you're talking to is, if she's in stealth still mission, you can't get a hold, and it's like 1 out of like 300 or 1 out of 760 chance of getting her to see. So it happened in our household, and I remember we just played it and we kept it on overnight. Woke up in the morning, it still hadn't caught it.
My
Went to
gosh.
work. When we came home from work, it finally went to the next dialogue box.
Holy crap.
So big glitches like that. It's crazy that Star Wars gets hit with those.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
you imagine getting that far? You're like 40 hours in. It's crazy.
And it's got to
will
be a
say-
loop dialogue box.
I will say it's becoming a more common thing that games are launching when they're not ready.
Yeah, you've said that.
Yeah,
But
it's
part of that-
it's a
You said it,
quarterly
Chewie.
numbers thing, I feel like.
Well,
and
Part of that has to do with the availability of high tech computer components at this point. Like,
I mean,
the
yeah.
variance between like my computer and say Kevin's computer. Kevin's an editor. Kevin's computer can probably fucking run whatever the fuck he wants.
Absolutely. Here's the funny thing. It's actually not. Like, gaming computers are insane. Like, my buddy Zach, now he has one, and that thing could run anything probably. Could probably launch the space shuttle. But with like video editing, actually, what I'm doing now, because it's all remote, I remote into a computer that's in LA right now anyway, but so I don't really need that much power because I'm just basically watching
Okay,
this
so
movie.
but your computer in LA.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's definitely, but it's with 3D graphics. You don't need 3D graphics to play Avid or edit and stuff like that. But I know what you're saying. Like,
Well, I mean,
your mileage may vary with your computer power.
in order, well, and I also don't know exactly your process, but like post processing and stuff on video files is done with a graphics card.
Yeah.
Usually done with a very high end graphics card. Now the things that they're like specified for and what have you are a little different. If you get an equivalent graphics card for editing to my gaming graphics card, they're not going to perform the same in their respective roles. But that's kind of my point, is that you know, if we're just looking at numbers, and I've got a 3070 Ti, and Kevin's got a 3070 Ti, but his is a working edition, mine's a gaming edition.
Yeah.
They're not going to perform the same.
Sean, do you have a Sound Blaster audio card at least so you can play MIDI files?
I
Sound
don't.
Blaster, dude.
Remember that?
Oh my gosh.
I don't.
Yeah.
But, I don't. But in college, I sound blasted a girl one time.
Okay.
And
You get a noise complaint or what? Okay, so as we move on to the other part of the episode where we talk about our favorite Force moments, I'd be remiss to say that Visions Volume
out the
2
Force
is now out. We haven't watched it yet because we're recording this the day
It's
before.
so good, you guys. Oh my God.
But
watched
from
it right
everything I've heard
alongside-
about it, yeah.
I will
Right.
say I've heard from a couple friends of the show got to see it early,
Yeah.
and
I've seen plenty of
Locklear.
reviews on Twitter and who've also gotten advanced.
apparently it's all amazing.
Yeah,
I
that's
heard
what.
the
Yeah,
Sith one is
yeah.
incredible. The Sith one is really good.
Yes.
There's one
So
called Sith or
looking
whatever.
forward
Did
to
you hear
watching
anything
that
about the
soon.
Young Jedi Adventures?
Yeah, I heard it was delightful.
I would like to watch Young Jedi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually.
I heard it was a great time.
Can I watch that in my car?
My kid's gonna watch it with us. We look forward to it.
That's would be great. Yeah,
We
I want to hear what.
with great interest.
Yes. Okay, so our favorite moments with the Force as it's our May the 4th edition of this episode. The Force it's been, especially with the Luke Skywalker discourse lately, about rebuilding the Jedi Order. He would do this, that, and the other. But I was like, you know what? What if we talk about what we like the things that have happened, whether it's in movies, games, animated shows, books. If you read, some of your favorite moments that just stand out to you with the Force. And Sean, I know you want to lead off.
You know what? I actually was thinking, since Kevin's the guest, Kevin should start.
You know what? Wow, I love how you just turned that around. So Kevin, what's a
so
favorite?
it's canon now that I'm a guest and I'm no longer on the show. That's sad.
It's
Canon. You made it canonical. It's canon.
I thought Kevin was the lead, and we were the guests.
I'll say this: the one that most blew me away isn't from the movies or books or anything, but I remember when it first came out and everybody saw the video of it, they were like so blown away. And that's Star Killer stopping the Star Destroyer, and that CGI. I think it was just because it was like at the time the graphics were amazing, and you've never seen anyone do something like that. Now they've tried to emulate it with Rey and then like with Vader and Kenobi, but that's more like pulling. But when he like stands in front of that thing and then it like slams right in front and stops right in front of him, like that. I just remember that was like one of the coolest things. And I gotta say, my other thoughts about The Last Jedi be damned. I think one of the most powerful and awesome uses of the Force is projecting yourself across a galaxy and like being able to like physically touch your sister and like fool even a droid. And then you'd think that C-3PO could see, like, wouldn't be able to
life form.
Yeah. And then to see that, and then that's an alternate sacrifice where he dies. And they build it up throughout that movie too, where like, oh, that kind of effort would kill you, and Kylo talks about it. So those are my two moments as far as like the Force, and of course my favorite 3 minutes of Star Wars ever, which is Yoda lifting the X-wing.
Yeah, I knew that one. So
those are my three.
It's got to be the number one.
I did the homework this time, Frank. I did my homework.
Those are also all my favorites.
those are all yours, Sean.
No, it's funny you brought up the Force Unleashed one, because that's actually one that was on my.
It's a pretty.
Was it really? Great mind.
I mean, it's an honorable mention. I have some issues with how Force Unleashed represents the Force in general.
Yeah, it should not be unleashed
because it represents it as a superpower more so than a
binding force,
something that surrounds us.
I was gonna talk about how I was gonna say something clever about KOTOR, but I honestly don't remember any important force.
I've been thinking about something in my head too, and I can't.
I was
think
like,
of it
I don't
right
know.
now. And I've played the game
on Malachor.
Have you guys seen my movies?
There it is. There.
Not without
have that in
Not
there.
without
There's your bingo card.
So I think one of the first I should say I've never played Force Unleashed, nor have I watched any.
Wow, even I've
stuff.
played Force Unleashed.
That's good for you, Kevin. Or
the second one.
Oh, you'd love it, man. Hey,
I know I would. Yeah.
You should get that, like, if they're available. Like,
yeah, I
the
totally
Xbox store
downloaded
has
it
all
on
the
the
old
Xbox
games on
store.
it. Like, I downloaded Star Wars Racer for when you come next time, Brandon. You want to play pod racing, but you can get like the original like Battlefronts and Episode 3 game. But I think Force Unleashed.
That's one I really needed. That's a box I need to check off.
Yeah,
that's
check that
one I need to get on.
Check off is Star Trek.
And by the way, it's a very hard game. My roommate at the time would play it, and I would sit there and watch him get his ass kicked constantly, and he'd throw the controller. He would be so pissed. Shout out to Greg Schneider for that. But man, so if you do streams, I just want to watch you like die.
Maybe I should.
Hey, Greg Schneider, that game's not hard. It's super easy.
Well, you're like a master video game player, bro.
I disagree with that. I'm slightly above average.
I don't know. You're doing Jedi Master Mode and stuff.
Yeah, but I'm not doing Jedi Grandmaster mode.
I don't buy games unless they have
story mode.
Story
baby.
So when I first played Fallen Order, it was on
Master.
No,
Night.
It was on
Grandmaster.
Story mode.
Story mode. Oh, story mode.
My first playthrough of Fallen Order.
Why do they call it story mode? Is it because you can't die, or
no? You can die. It's just the timing, like the block timing and stuff.
You can just mow through people like one hit.
Yeah.
Which is how it would really be with a lightsaber.
It makes it, honestly, Kevin, story mode.
Take that, Master of the Terras Kasi.
Story mode makes it feel like Force Unleashed.
Okay, interesting.
like the level of power you have.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Because Force Unleashed, you fight like 30 stormtroopers at once.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whereas this is like you're gonna
And
fight.
he unleashes the Force on them, and then I get it. So, yeah, I just had to get. So when you guys are talking about Force Unleashed, I'm like, I guess that. But
You
I can,
should play Force Unleashed.
Yeah, I think after Survivor, that'll be what I get
I
into.
think I have it for my PSP.
Yeah.
Yes, wow.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Dude, that's how you played in the car on the drive over?
I just got to find the charger to my PSP.
So, one of my favorite moments with the Force is with Ahsoka in the Siege of Mandalore episodes. I forget exactly what the title of this episode is, but it's when
It's the Siege of Mandalore Part 2.
it's when they're on the Venator and it's crashing into the planet, and Maul's escaping in that ship, and Ahsoka gets on the deck and like uses the Force to try and prevent him from escaping, which I guess plays into your Force Unleashed like type of.
I was with you when you first saw that the first time, and literally you were on the couch leaning over, and you're
Oh
like,
my
"Oh my god, Filoni flex!" He's
Yeah,
not
I call
doing
it the
He's not
Filoni
gonna
flex.
Filoni
Yeah.
it.
I call it the Filoni flex. Like, this is how powerful Ahsoka is, and like thinking about it more, it hits really hard just because in the Clone Wars we haven't seen Ahsoka for so long, and now ever since she left the Order, and when she comes back, she's much older and wiser and even more skilled, but you're not sure, and like that was a demonstration of just how much more powerful I felt like she was in the Force, and it kind of ties into Rey's,
Ray?
her
Rey?
like how powerful she is, because it's similar again to that scene in the desert with Kylo, and grabbing the.
Are we down a man? What happened? What's he okay?
Sean, I think had to take a
Tongs days, am I
tongs.
right?
Yeah. So yeah, that's one of my favorite moments. The other one, well, Brandon, you go ahead, and I'll.
Well, certainly, talking about we know I don't love the Rise of Skywalker, but it is pretty sick when Rey stops that transport.
Yeah.
I think it's like very well directed. It just like comes out of nowhere.
She doesn't stop it though. What are you talking about? She fails.
Stops it, bro.
She fails.
and then she blows it up.
If it wasn't for Kylo, I think she would have brought it back down to the surface. Honestly, I think so.
She shoots lightning at it, guy.
I remember my friend's cut of that. Brandon's cut of he in the flashbacks.
Other Brandon.
Other Brandon, the guy that did the Kenobi cut. So in his version of Rise of Skywalker, she's not a Palpatine. And when they go back to as a little girl, and then he adds Force lightning coming out of the hand, and then showing the ship exploding, and then Kylo says, "That's right," and he Frankenbit it to make Kylo say, "You killed your parents."
Oh my god!
It's actually a pretty dope side like that.
Like I give credit to the finessing of turning that into something completely different by using someone else's work, which is like incredible to make it do that.
That's how they got.
But
Ray?
man, that's pretty wild to go to those lengths. But honestly, if you can pull it off, that's like well done. Sean.
So I'm going to point out something we haven't talked about is virginses.
Oh, okay.
So I always love, with a few exceptions, I love all of the Force virginses in Star Wars.
Okay.
You've got, of course, Luke in the cave. The cave. Remember the cave? Can you do that for me?
The cave.
Well, he doesn't say the cave. What do you mean?
Never mind.
What are you talking about?
Oh boy.
The cave. Kermit the Frog here. The cave.
I've seen that movie. He doesn't go, the cave. What are you talking about?
No, he's talking about
Remember your
Yoda
failure
says
in the
it.
cave.
The cave. Remember your failure at the cave.
Oh, that, yeah.
Oh, that. Oh my gosh.
This episode
If
dropped,
George
by the
was
way.
here right now, he'd be go, "Have you seen my movie?"
Yeah, have you seen?
Have you
This
seen
episode
Irvin
dropped on the
Kershner's
4th,
movie?
right?
Yes.
We hired this voice actor. We could say it now because we released an image of we're going to have Yoda in the World Between Worlds in our KOTOR Convergence movie. And I hired this. I didn't want a guy sounding like Tom Kane, and I didn't want to do AI. And we found a guy, and he does the grizzled, like old Frank Oz version of Yoda.
And it's Frank Oz.
Yeah, it's not Frank. Can you imagine Frank Oz doing it? But his Yoda is so good. But yeah,
It's Frank Janish is what it is.
Speaking of Yoda in the World Between Worlds, I wanted to talk about Yoda meeting with Ezra.
Ooh, yeah.
And Yoda sitting on the rock as Ahsoka leaves the cave, and he just goes,
Damn.
Yoda meets Starkiller outside the cave too in your game.
Yoda meets
There's a
Starkiller.
full scene. It's great.
Yoda meets everybody, huh? He's just making
because
around.
Starkiller
900 years old, you reach.
He is
Starkiller
not in
goes into
exile, dude. They're partying on Dagobah. Like he has a visitor like every other week.
I was gonna say Starkiller goes into the cave, doesn't he?
Yeah, he
There's some
does.
versions there, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty derivative, don't you think?
Yeah, it's meant to be. The Force Unleashed is meant to be like Star Wars What If. It was never meant to be
or
canon.
Star Wars Greatest Hits, right? Like,
yeah,
you can
it's
do all
like
the cool things.
it's not.
Like Rise of Skywalker. That's
Wow.
No, it's better.
I kid.
No, because it's better.
Damn.
Are you
Oh,
drinking
boy.
Red Bull there, Frank? What else you got here? We got meat sticks. What do we got?
Cheers.
Yeah.
Red Bull gives
I
you
got this.
X-Wings.
Sean, have you ever had bubbly?
The bubbly. Oh yeah. Who
bubbly's
hasn't had a
good.
bubbly?
Is that
It's really
like a
good.
watermelon pissed in a water?
No, it's like a cherry piston a lot.
Have you guys ever had 7-Eleven Icelandic water?
Man, I didn't know they even had 7-Elevens in Iceland.
Yeah, you can only get this at 7-Eleven.
Wow.
It
I
says
re-
it on the bottle.
I really like Cal's Virgins experience.
When you say virgins, what do you mean? Sorry, I'm a
It's
newbie.
Frank.
It's when it's the term used for like the like whenever they go into this weird like Rey in the
cave.
Luke
Hey,
in the
guys.
cave.
1, 2,
Um,
3. Close enough.
There's a delay. There's a space delay for me.
Or Kanan fighting the
Jedi Temple Guard.
the Jedi Temple Guard.
Yeah.
One of my favorites.
I have
Absolutely.
one of my favorite moments with the Force is Kanan when he basically when he sacrifices himself. Like
that was gonna be my final one actually.
that was,
Frank.
I actually believe you.
Yeah.
What do you think is the most important use of the Force ever? Like the
Oh.
one of the single-handedly like most important uses.
Well, I think the Luke sacrifice obviously has to be on that list.
In A New Hope, when Obi-Wan like makes that sound like down the hallway.
No, I mean, yeah, that's it. Or like
No, it's
you don't
Obi-Wan
need to
go-
use you don't need to see his identification because if they would have
I
caught
mean,
them
that's-
there,
okay,
and
yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Time out. These are your answers and not he's switched off his targeting computer.
That is a good
Not
one.
the pinnacle moment of the movie.
It's a lucky shot, one in a million.
yeah, but you don't get that far, Sean. You don't get that far if the droids get caught on Tatooine.
Okay,
so the
fine.
move
Guess
along
what?
is most important.
You know what else? You don't get that far without?
That's true. Yeah. That's true. I know what you're talking about. Obi-Wan
I'm
in
glad
the
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
'cause
Obi-Wan
they're
in the desert when
they're
he
both looking at me
scares
like I'm
off
crazy.
Great dragon noise.
Yeah.
Did they emulate that noise in Mandalorian? I forget if they had that
They
same noise.
Sort of, but it's
yeah.
not as cheesy
How
sounding.
did I do?
That's pretty. I mean, I knew what
Pretty
it
good.
was. I knew what it was.
It sounded good. Yeah, it sounded.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's your O sound, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah. Whenever, you know.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I think I got.
Whenever
Yeah.
I virgins. It's
What about when
Jill's encountering a virgin.
Oh my god!
Oh my.
what about when Kylo stops Poe's like bullet in midair?
that was cool.
That's a
pretty
cool.
cool.
So I don't know that that's like.
top two of all
Top?
time.
That was pretty cool in the theater.
It was cool though.
Like Ray's kind of meditation moment.
Or when she's
cool.
combating Kylo. With
Yeah, and
the,
she
like,
likes the
yeah.
That's
Oh,
what
but I got it.
Also, Ray's meditation moment. The one thing I will give Rise of Skywalker, Ray in the lotus position.
Oh
with the rocks
hell
around
yeah!
her,
Very cool.
dope as hell.
Very.
I
cool.
remember a spy
could do
report
that.
saying that
Did
a
you?
spy report of the Force Awakens was that Luke was floating around a bunch of rocks and stuff.
Cool as hell.
Yeah, never
I
happened.
love that. But also Luke's. I know someone mentioned it. Luke's end. Luke's death.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
probably yeah.
That and Kanan's sacrifice and Luke's sacrifice.
And Anakin floating the peach across the
I was
table.
gonna joke about that one
Not
too.
that,
Yes.
not that I've seen all of Rebels because I obviously haven't, but I have seen that scene.
It fucking hits me.
The kicker for that scene is the Force giving him the gift of sight again.
Oh my
Yeah.
Right
gosh!
before
Good
he
call,
dies.
Brandon. Very
Yes.
good call. Yes.
Wow, I gotta
Very
rewatch
cool.
that now. I don't
Oh
even-
yeah, you see his eyes come back,
Yeah.
like the color in his eyes
man.
come back. It's
But-
very
but
good.
I also
You know
wanna
that's a
know why-
callback with the Mandalorian finale when they're all in the.
When I was gonna
Force
say
bubble or whatever.
Grogu.
yeah, the Grogu shield.
That was a good one.
Why can Grogu save them but Kanan couldn't? Why did Kanan have to die when Grogu gets to live?
Because the smaller you are, the more force you have.
Dang, Star Wars.
Did you see the alternate version of
Small
that?
means
When
big.
they're in the bubble, Grogu says, "We are Grogu," and that is the first
Yeah,
line.
you have to have the subtitles on. I
Yeah.
caught it the second time.
Yeah,
You're right,
yeah,
Kev.
But he does it in
It's
baby
an homage to
voices.
Guardians.
Actually, another favorite moment of the Force is when Luke is hanging beneath Cloud City and he calls to Leia. I think that's a really cool moment because it's
The
just
original
like,
Force Skype.
yeah, really, because it's at that point when if you're just watching it for the first time, you're going, oh, what is happening here? Is Leia now somehow
Well-
attuned to the Force? And like back, maybe you can speak to it better, Kevin, since
Well, the filmmaking of that scene
Since
is
you're that old.
incredible too.
I don't
Like,
want to go that far.
the filmmaking, it starts on Lando and he's doing something in the ship, and it's panning over, and then it just ends on, and she's in the foreground, so everything in the background's moving a little slower, and then it just wraps right on her, and she's looking dead forward, and dude, goosebumps, dude, across the
Mayor of Goosebumps City
You
is
should-
back,
you
baby.
should get
you
that
see
checked
it,
out.
and she doesn't even say it at first, and she's like, Luke, right? And I rewatched some of the pivotal scenes with my wife before we saw Jedi in the theater, and that was one scene where we watched, and like she loved that too. It's like that the filmmaking of that scene is just so
And it's
incredible.
great acting on Carrie's part as
Yeah.
well in that scene because she's just like you can just see in her eyes how she is somewhere else, and she says Luke very softly, and it's just and then she like has like a realization point of like something just was for lack of better terms, a Force awakened within her in terms of connecting with Luke.
That's a couple movies.
You know what? And
Yeah.
I also want to talk about scenes where Carrie, where she was somewhere else. When the Radis gets blown up
Yeah,
and Carrie Superman's into the ship, I thought was
or Mary Poppins, whichever
yeah,
you're
was one of the most.
I was
important-
the only
But
one
you know
in
what?
my theater to love it.
Another. I hate it. I hate it. I like that movie. I hate that.
I thought they were going to kill her there. You know, like
Hate
I thought
is
they
the
were going to
path
kill her there. And I was
to
like,
the
that's
dark
bold,
side,
dude.
Sean.
Wow. Because like talk about the guilt of like Kylo, he was ready to press the trigger, and then he
Couldn't do it.
doesn't, and then he says no, I don't want to kill my mom, and then someone else does it and he can't get mad at that person for doing it. But like, dude, that would have been insane.
I also another scene where Carrie wasn't there.
oh boy.
When too soon.
I don't. I mean, she. I'm not gonna speak for
when
Carrie.
when she stops Kylo from killing Rey.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Very
Carrie wasn't there for that.
in a lot of ways, yes.
Yeah, she was on Dakar or Discount Dakar, whatever planet
yeah,
that
yeah,
was.
yeah. Brandon, you have any other favorite moments with the Force?
I believe that planet is called.
Agent Claus.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, I got there.
I was gonna say Ajax dish soap.
Okay.
Oh, I like it.
You like it?
When Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon run really fast, and then we never see
the
it
Force,
again.
Yeah,
the
you
Force
like that?
running, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I know, and they never do it again.
Yeah,
Because
you
I
never
remember
see
the
it
theaters
again,
opening
right?
night, that was like the coolest fucking thing ever.
Yeah.
Excuse my language.
I
And
guess
then you never see it again.
it's like the Holdo maneuver. If you overuse it, it's like, why don't they just do that all the time?
Yeah.
I mean,
Like when Palpatine like does his little flippy flip and like stabs Kit Fisto in the
What
gut.
if he was really fast?
Like what if Kit Fisto just went pew,
right, yeah.
ran away?
Yeah.
Or it could have helped Obi-Wan in the same movie when he could just ran through all of the freaking gates to save Qui-Gon from dying. Then Qui-Gon raises Anakin, no one slaughters younglings, and the whole world is happy.
There's some cool like action beats in Revenge of the Sith though, but that are like obviously connected to the Force.
that are like Force amplified.
Force amplified.
You care to
Like
elaborate?
like the characters using the Force to amplify their abilities, their movement, their senses. That's what you're talking about?
Yeah, but I'm like, so like one example that I like is when Yoda senses the clone troopers are going to turn on
Oh,
him.
yeah.
Oh, sure,
And he just
sure. Yeah, very cool.
cuts their heads
Great
off.
moment, great moment.
Ahsoka's like, set your weapons to stun, and they're just friends of ours. And Yoda's like, bro, I don't care.
Yoda's like, what if I chucked a lightsaber into this
If
guy's
Yoda,
chest and then ran up to grab the
I'll tell you right now,
lightsaber?
if Yoda was a part of the Empire post Revenge of the Sith, and he was like in the Senate in like the Bad Batch when they're voting on clones' rights, he'd vote no.
I have an update from my. I feel so bad. I forgot that I was helping my friend, and so I haven't done a single one in
Oh,
like
no.
a half an hour. But so I just sent Invisible Hand. That was the last one he sent. What was General
Grievous ship,
Like,
yeah.
one of them, I'm like
Now
freaking
they're
out. Like
getting
I don't even
harder.
know. I don't know. Maybe Sean, you know.
Throw them at us.
Jedi Council consists of how many members? Am I stupid? Is it 10 or 12?
Oh
10?
fuck! No, it's.
I wouldn't know that, so I'm glad I didn't.
I believe it's 12. It could be
It
13.
sounds 12
I was gonna say
he could have
12.
pulled away too. What is the name of the Death Star's original commander? What's the substance that powers the lightsabers? Kaiba, the Kaiba crystals. That's
Okay,
what they're after.
Death Star's
Krennic?
original commander is Orson Krennic.
Yes.
I wonder if that's what they would say, or if they would call it.
Challenge.
Yeah,
I would
I'm
challenge-
worried.
if they-
'cause
Challenge.
If they would say Tarkin, or
Could you
It's
imagine if you
Yeah,
answer
'cause it's
Orson
like a
Krennic and then
bar
they say, sorry,
trivia.
we're looking for Tarkin, and then you just get up and go, we're standing here on my achievement, not yours!
probably in the Empire records it would indicate Tarkin, not Krennic.
Yeah, but the answer,
But the answer would be
is-
Krennic,
The answer
yeah.
is Orson Krennic.
I just wonder if bar trivia would say Krennic. They're asking you what.
I mean,
is-
it's in
if
a
they're
movie.
hold on. If they're asking for the original commander, there's only 2 commanders.
And are they
Yeah,
asking about
true,
the first
yeah.
Death Star or the second Death Star?
How many Jedi Council members are there? Please answer it in the chat or in the
12.
Discord.
I think 12.
It's got to be 12. I think it's 12. I think
I've
12.
retired, bro. That's all.
Even
Yeah.
after Yarl Poof disappeared?
And Yaddle. Which favorite
By the
Force
way-
moment?
By the way, I want to point out, it's not Jarl Poof. It's the there is a name drop in Jedi Survivor.
Mhm.
They name drop Oppo Rancisis in Jedi Survivor, and I just went, "Whew."
Oh, really? Okay.
If Yarl Poof was there to arrest Palpatine, that would have been it.
I will say another cool, memorable Force moment recently just happened in Tales of the Jedi is Yaddle with the door and Dooku slamming it and Yaddle coming up and lifting it and kind of making her last stand against Dooku.
I got a good one. Qui-Gon catching the tongue. I mentioned it earlier. Like, imagine, you know how hard that would be. What's the worst use of the Force? I like to be negative tonight.
The peach.
Yeah.
the
Do you
peach.
think that's the worst use?
Isn't it a pear?
Or him
Remember
throwing
your
the ball
failure
like-
with the peach.
The pear.
Or the pear. Remember your failure with the pear. What's another? That's actually a great question. What's like the funniest? Just like what?
The most
Obscure-
non-Jedi.
Yeah,
use of
just
the
like
Force.
whatever.
And, I do love the kit. I like it though. The Kit Fisto pushing the droid onto C-3PO. and
Oh
then, like,
yeah, actually,
Yeah.
yeah.
Die, Jedi dogs.
yeah.
He's just like laughing. He's like, oh, that's
Ezra Bridger
Heard of him.
mind controlling the ATDP
Oh yeah.
to kill the clone troopers.
That was like
to
the
kill
season
stormtroopers, yeah.
3
season
premiere?
3 premiere.
Yeah. That was pretty wicked, and that's when everyone thought like, oh, wait, is Ezra gonna go down a dark path because
That's
he has a
what everyone-
holocron
well,
and
and that was when Maul was his
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was Maul's apprentice.
let's see another.
This show's wild, Brandon.
It's so good. You're gonna love it, man.
I do wonder how
I'm
in
a
this
cat now, so.
this trivia game that he's texting, like, aren't they going to catch him with his phone?
That's weird. Yeah, if he's gonna text you, might as well look up the answers himself. Like
I know, but then they'd be like, you're looking up the answers.
yeah.
You can Google how many
That's what I'm
Jedi Council members
Yeah,
there
it'll
are.
come up right away.
Is it 12?
I'm pretty sure.
Pretty sure.
All right, I got to
would
Google
bet.
it. but-
I would bet all of my Adam Witt wins.
Okay, are you putting it together here? Jedi Council, how many members? Let's see.
How come they're not getting caught texting you that they could just Google?
That's
the
what I'm
answer?
saying. I don't get it.
Just
12
said,
members.
Brandon.
It's 12
I just
members.
said
You got
that,
it.
Brandon. I just said
I was
it.
thinking about my cat.
And the Boba Fett ship is called the.
Boba Fett Starship.
Yeah.
The Osprey.
It's called Boba Fett.
I thought it was
Starship.
Persons with Jobs 1.
Is it
Yeah,
Osprey or
wait,
Fire Spray?
so what is
Prisoners
it?
with jobs.
Well, it is
What is it called?
it is a Fire
Prisoners
Spray
with
31.
jobs.
Fire Spray 31. Yeah.
Prisoners
It is
with
a-
Jobs 1. Sorry, that's a Ragnarok
It
joke.
is a
That's pretty fun.
Fire Spray 31 pursuit and patrol craft.
See, this is why I wouldn't want Sean at this particular one, because he would have the right answers, but not what's on their answer sheet.
Right.
He's like, no, I
Kevin,
can even
we're-
give you the model number. And they'd be
Kevin,
like,
we don't call it by its other name anymore. Disney decided.
I know. I
like-
just wonder what they would say.
Yeah.
It's still canonically Slave 1.
Well, I think we should get to our questions in the Discord
Yo,
because we're
got some
we're
questions,
it's
dude?
gonna be- yeah, we got questions.
Questions.
Admittedly, I submitted a question too.
Did you?
I'm still thinking of the worst.
There is
uses
a
of
question in
Force.
here who's like, we should have Kevin back on the show. Well, guess what?
I think worst use of the Force is every time Palpatine zaps
Prodigal
himself
Knight.
in the face.
Oh,
It's what?
there you go.
Every time Palpatine zaps himself in the face, that's
see,
the worst
he's
use of
into
the
it.
Force.
It's a sex thing.
he's kinky like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, bro, just stop.
He's like, no, you don't understand.
Literally rips the
no,
flesh
no.
off his.
All right,
Yes.
so the first question we have
His
is actually on
skeleton.
theme for the episode.
From
And
Darth
It
Kitty.
is from Darth Kitty, who shout out to Darth Kitty, has been there for all of mine and Frank's
And
streams.
yes, even my 6 and 7 hour marathon streams. Like,
Yeah,
Even
Bless
when
your soul,
Even when
honestly.
I play video games by myself, she's there, and I
Yeah.
don't know.
she like sends
so
sends
you
you a
can
Twitter
sense
DM,
it. He's like,
yeah.
someone like, that's why you got a cat. That's why you got a cat.
So her question is, seeing as y'all have some gameplay under your belts, under our thumbs, how would you review Star Wars Jedi Survivor? We already did that.
So there you go.
It's good. I love it.
It's good.
Also,
We
I
need to
really
do a
like
storyline.
I really like this question.
Mhm.
So this is not directly Star Wars related, but it is gaming related.
Okay.
Live long and prosper.
So do you have preferred gaming music depending on the genre,
Oh.
or do you just let the game score / soundtrack play?
So it depends what kind of game I'm playing.
Well, that's the question.
Yes. So if I'm playing like a sports game, a Madden, a FIFA, or NBA 2K, then yeah, I'm going to want my own music playing. Back in the day, actually, in a version of 2K and probably other versions of 2K, on the 360, you could import different
There
like
was a lot of
profiles.
games. There was a lot of games
Yeah.
back then that you could do that.
And so, what was interesting about the NBA 2K was if you could like import certain like sound effects or music to play at certain points in the game. Like if a player missed a free throw, you could have a certain sound play.
like a train whistle.
Yeah, sure, like a train whistle. But what people ended up doing was customizing and replicating the actual arenas in real life and putting those profiles into the game. So, like, if you were a Lakers fan and you like hearing all like the Lakers stuff happen when you're at what used to be Staples Center, then it would have like all those
Excuse me,
music
it's the
cues.
Crypto.com
Now it's
arena.
Crypto.com.
Now it's called
Yeah.
Slave One Arena.
Slave One Arena. That'd be great. But yeah, so but when I was playing Final
Boba Fett
Fantasy,
Starship
Yeah,
Arena.
Boba Fett Starship. it's yeah.
the Fire Spray Arena,
What's his name? Phil
That's
Jackson.
actually a good
Phil
name.
Jackson Starship Arena.
right?
Fire Spray Arena is actually pretty.
It's pretty cool. But when I was playing like Final Fantasy, I would let that music play because I
Oh,
love
yeah, you
Final
were
Fantasy
I
music.
remember. Yeah, you always did
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So like Final Fantasy 7 or 12 or 10.
The old
or
wrestling
13
games,
even.
too, you used
Yeah.
to be able to bring in your own music, and like they would never have like a arena echo back then. So back in the day, I would import my own music and add arena echo, like 3D spatial echoes,
Add reverb.
and put it back in
Yeah,
the
that's
game.
very
But then
cool.
it was violating so many copyright laws.
Yeah.
People are like importing their own music in that they now you can't do that in any future
Yeah.
versions.
I remember the Tony Hawk games always used
Yeah.
to have that.
Oh,
But what's funny
right.
when I did it with
Tony Hawk has great music too.
But when I did it with the Tony
He does.
Hawk games, I would re-upload some of their soundtrack. So it was the songs that I thought went with their soundtrack plus their soundtrack.
Gotcha.
Because Tony Hawk is the game that made me fall in love with one of my all-time favorite bands, Jimmy Eat World.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it had Pain. in
Pain's
one
a
of
great song. Yes.
them.
Is that on my mix that I made? I don't remember.
It
I
should
just
be.
remember you could play as Darth Maul in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, and that
Pro
was
Skater
sick.
2 or Pro Skater 1?
I want to say it was 3, honestly.
Do you?
I don't know.
I could be
remember that
wrong.
part.
I think 3 is too late.
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah,
section
let us
down
know in the
below.
comments what game you played Darth Maul in.
That was pretty sick.
It
I
better
was
not be
pretty-
Fortnite. Well,
I was
it could
pretty
be
hyped.
Fortnite now, but
I will put on very rarely I will put on music that isn't the game music. I'll tell you what I do is I listen to an audiobook while I play games that I don't have to pay a lot of attention to the dialogue. I'll put on an audiobook.
I will. I'll tell you this real quick. A little anecdote about my roommates. They'll play Halo, and they have a Spotify playlist that they've been curating for years.
Whoa.
For years, and it's called the Murder Playlist. They play it in the
Whoa.
background as they play Halo, and it's pretty good music.
Is
I'm
there
not gonna lie.
Brankin Benjamin on there?
Probably.
Okay, but the Halo score is fantastic.
Sure.
Halo score is fantastic.
It's one of the best in all video
Halo
games.
score is fantastic, but Halo 3, Breaking Benjamin made a song for Halo 3, so that better be on the Murder playlist.
I'll have to inquire about that. But yeah, how do you when you play?
So if I'm playing Batman Arkham Knight, I play the Batman theme of whatever skin I'm using in that moment. So if I'm using the Christian Bale Batman,
Just on repeat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do the Dark Knight score. If I'm on the Michael Keaton Batman skin, I use the Tim Burton, Danny Elfman score, stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Oh, the score, not the theme. You playing the whole album score.
No, the main theme, just on repeat.
Just on repeat. All
On
2
repeat.
minutes.
Fantastic.
I pretend like I'm in the movie.
I
Pretty
did
cool.
in college, because I went to San Diego State before it was hard to get into, or it was easy to get into. I did a test where with people playing Tetris, and they had to play it with hard rock music, with classical music, with movie scores, with pop, with rap, and most of the people performed the best, ironically, with classical music and rap. I don't know if there was any.
I
correlation.
performed the best with the Tetris 2 theme playing.
Interesting. What's the next question?
Well,
That's the iconic Tetris.
and
yeah.
if I'm playing Metal Gear Solid, that's another one. You got the actual score for the game is fantastic.
Yeah.
Has anyone
Yeah,
seen
yeah.
the Tetris movie?
No.
I think it's a show.
No, it's a movie.
It's a movie.
I think you're a movie, bro. I think it's a show.
Yeah. Do I have a happy ending?
I don't know. You tell me.
Guys,
do.
we got some wild questions.
Yeah. What
I
else
don't
we
want to
got?
be around for that.
Kevin, I want you to start on this one because I feel like you probably have a good answer for this. This is from Matty Gunner, friend of the show. By the way, guys,
Future friend of the show, Matty Gunner.
no, he's a current friend of the show. In fact, today's
Is he better at
episode-
Jedi Survivor than Frank?
Probably.
No.
No. Oh,
Oh,
damn.
I don't know. I haven't seen him play because he was streaming while I was streaming, so I wasn't watching. Speaking of which, today's episode of Scoundrels Inc. is brought to you by Mourner.
Morning.
Holy Snokes.
You can get your Mourner shirts
Hey.
over at Frank will put the link in the
Yeah.
description.
over at.
It's a link.
Yeah. They're dope shirts though.
Very cool.
They got an Axeman.
Nice.
Just
This is for
harass
their-
Matty.
Oh,
Gunner
I got a tough one
on
here.
Twitter.
This is for their single, The
Phantom
Axeman.
Menace is set how many years before the original film, Star Wars: A New Hope? Over under 30 years.
Over
Under.
Over under.
Under.
It's over 30.
It's over
years.
30.
Wait, it's over 30?
Yeah,
over 30
bro.
years.
It's
Oh, I guess because it's
10 years
10
before Attack of the Clones, 3 years Revenge of the Sith, and then 19 years between that and A New Hope.
Oh,
It's
so
over.
over that 34 years? 33, 32 years.
I like the over under. It's a very
I believe
Yeah.
I believe it's 32 years.
32
Yeah,
sounds right to
yeah,
me.
yeah.
so over.
Got 'em.
That's a solid question.
Let's try math. That's a good trick.
So Maddie's question is, what's an example of one of life's great questions that Star Wars has helped you answer?
Oh.
Oh, I got one.
I know you do. That's why I told
Never
you to
make
start.
out with your sister, bro.
hey.
I don't know.
Don't do
Hold
it.
on.
Don't make out with your sister. Find out. Go on
to clarify-
DNA.com. Space fucking 23andMe.
To
Make
cla-
sure that you're not related.
To clarify,
You need a movie to tell you that,
Hold
bro?
time out. To
That's what I
clarify,
learned. Otherwise, I'd be
as
making out
the-
with my sister all the time.
as the only person on the podcast with a twin sister,
Oh.
you don't need a great question to answer it.
But
You just know better.
yeah, and wait, does the movie even teach you that though? Because there were no consequences.
Yeah, Luke
To
kind of
that,
had no
yes.
consequences.
Oh, my gosh.
You know what I mean? Like nothing bad happened after.
Question
fuck, man.
that like I don't know that to like pinpoint like, hey, Star Wars helped me figure out this answer, but more or less in terms of like honestly, as I've gotten older, patience is like has been a huge thing for me to try and have more of, except
you
when I
sure?
play Survivor.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are you sure
When I
about
play
that?
Survivor.
The boy has no patience.
But like honestly, like that was
Was any different when you trained me?
this is very romantic. I'm not gonna
You were
lie.
trained by Qui-Gon.
Are you guys having another Sean Brandon moment right there? And Frank's in the middle.
One of the many.
Once a podcast.
Yeah. Over under a number. So honestly, like that more like it wasn't even like hey, I'm going to take this away from Star Wars. It was more over the course of time. I was like, I think this is where like it's coming from. Like, where else would this come from in terms of like what like altering my especially as I started diving more and more into Star Wars and getting more, I guess, insightful and breaking Star Wars down more as I got older. I was realizing like there was like some sort of like Star Wars in general throughout the course of my entire life has just been like influencing me, and it got to this point, especially as I was getting older, in regards to like the patience aspect of like, and also just kind of like how things just happen and not being so upset or whatever, just kind of like taking things and rolling with it and making the best out of a situation. So patience plays into that, but also.
But
just
Frank, throughout
understanding
these
whatnot.
years, have you ever made out with your sister?
No.
So credit Star Wars.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Hold
Are you
on,
like
Frank
You're
has
like
5
Joey
sisters.
Tribbiani, dude. He's like Joey Tribbiani. He has a ton of sisters.
Yeah, I think Joey had like 8 though. So,
Shit.
yeah.
I got a big one.
Yeah, what's
I have no
what's
sisters.
I got a big one.
that you know of?
True.
Star Wars has taught me to take a step back and to look at the world around me and decide whether I want to be a part of something or not. And I'm going to give some examples.
Okay.
The Mandalorian,
I quit.
The Mandalorian, the Book of Boba Fett, both really have that idea of like, and again, season 3 I feel like loses this, and this is why I had my issues with season 3 because it's an important lesson for me. Take a step back and look at the establishments and the groups and the movements you're a part of, and are they good? Are they net good? Right? And if they're not, maybe you need to slowly distance yourself from that. Are they beneficial to you in your life? No? Then maybe you need to take a step back for that, right? It's very much the lesson of the Jedi Order in the prequels, right? They are so blinded by the way they've been doing things and by the path they're on that they cannot easily assess whether or not the path that the Republic, which they are a part of, is following, is the path they should be on, which gets them thrown into a war, which gives us the greatest 7 minutes of Star Wars in Attack of the Clones. So yeah, that's the big one for me, is right. Like, I feel like Star Wars, especially recently. I mean, that's Finn. That's the tale of Finn's story. That's the tale of Han's story, right? Han takes a step back and instead of realizing should he not be a part of something, whether he should be a part of something bigger. Han and Lando both go through that, right?
You know what they're up against. You're turning your back on them.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
it's all of that. It's so I think Star Wars does a really good job of teaching that, right? Is making sure you're on the right path that is either moralistically net good or at least net positive for yourself in a, you know, because and I'm not saying like, you know, you should only look out for yourself, but is this the right path for me to be on? Is very much, I think, the greater question of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Same thing with all the Jedi who are fighting light and dark, right? You know,
How many languages is C-3PO fluent in?
which movie?
It's an over and under. How many languages C-3PO fluent in? Over under 50 million. It's under.
Over.
Over. What is it? 60 million, right?
It's 6 million. Oh,
Wait, what was
Wait.
the over under number? What'd you say?
50 million. 50 million.
50.
50. So it's under.
Under.
Yeah, it's 6 million.
You said to be ready at 8:50. They have a final Jeopardy there where they could wager all their points. And I'm like, bruh, I'm on a Star Wars podcast right now with 3 of the great minds. You wager all your points. You're going to win.
I can't believe on a tonight like this we're playing Star Wars trivia all in
Kinda
San
fun,
Diego.
right? That is kind of funny.
6 million. It is 6 million in the
OT.
in the prequels and the OT, and it is 7 million in the sequels.
Does he really? He learned a million?
He learns another million in that 30
When does
years.
he say that? I don't remember that. That's funny.
He at some point he says I'm fluent in more than 7 million forms of.
Interesting. I didn't remember.
What a
that.
bookworm, am I right?
Yeah. What a nerd.
Brandon, you got any moments of where Star Wars has been like,
How has Star Wars taught you to be a better cat father?
Star Wars has taught me to never underestimate a droid.
yeah, your Roomba can do amazing things.
But also, I think, and this is something that is very prevalent, another positive thing about the rise of Skywalker is the importance of found family and the significance of
Sure.
choosing the people in your life. You know, we all have love to give, but we can't always give it to the people we maybe want to, but we can give it to the people who are there and deserve it.
Also,
Wow, look at that.
another lesson learned is you can kill and slaughter kids and then 60 years later say, just kidding, that wasn't me. And then when you die, you're redeemed. And then you come back as a young Force ghost and you're all healthy and stuff.
I believe
and then
that's
old Force
called-
ghosts are around you and they're like, why does Anakin get to look young? Oh, because like he turned bad when he was young.
I believe that's called Catholicism.
Anyway,
Just so you know, my wife, coming out of Return of the Jedi, one thing you shouldn't do is show your wife Revenge of the Sith and then the scenes from Kenobi because like the scenes where he's like literally swinging at little Reva and all of her kids, like because then she watches Return of the Jedi and at the end he dies. And then he's like, "Tell your sister she was right," and she's like, "He should fucking die." Like she thinks he's like, "Why does he get to appear?" He's like, it's like atrocities, and it is interesting to think, what if Return of the Jedi ended and it was where he didn't become a Force ghost? We're like, yeah, he did that ultimate sacrifice, and he didn't get to live in infamy and live forever, right? He just died.
We would have thought nothing of it.
I think you're completely right about that.
Right?
Yeah. We would have thought
nothing of it. If that was never the reality for us, we wouldn't have even thought about it.
Yeah, I think
I wouldn't even notice, right? Yeah. But it's interesting because she had
we'd be making those counter arguments as the main point of why it didn't happen. You know,
she's like, so like you could just kill a bunch of kids at a school, and then like right before you die, like you get your last rites, apologize, like, oh, that wasn't me, that was someone else.
As long as you say you're sorry and you mean it.
No,
I'm gonna move us on before we get pre-demonetized.
And if you
how do you get demonetized from that?
If you throw a dictator down a well, then also you.
I mean, it counts for
I'll
something.
I'll tell you after the show because I don't want to say it on camera.
We're gonna get demonetized for our
demonetized, yeah.
Dude, we're not gonna get that till 11 cents. That's sad.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
What else we got? Yeah.
John Booz asks, "Is there a light and dark side of the Force, or is it up to the Force user?" I've seen George say stuff, but when Yoda says something different in a comic, what's your?
Oh my God!
What's breaking development?
Tunned.
That's wrong. They gave him a wrong answer.
For what?
He said that they gave him the wrong answer. They said it's over. It's 60 million languages, and I'm like, no, it's 6 million. Go complain right now. Show him the Google page.
What? What kind
I don't know who's running that over there.
Yeah, who's running that operation over down there? Can you please repeat
the Pike Syndicate.
The question? In terms, what did? Here, let me pull it up. Is there a light side and a dark side of the Force, or is it up to the Force user? I don't know what he means.
So
up to the Force user.
The idea that
you're inherently gonna.
Are you inherently tapping into the light or dark side of the Force?
Oh, interesting.
Or is it a matter of how I use the Force interprets whether it's light or dark? I will say from my viewing of the Force, it does seem like there is a light and dark side of the Force.
Yeah.
I concur. Master Kenobi should go.
Exactly. I couldn't have said it better myself, Brandon.
It's interesting to think of, like, is the Force binary, right?
I think the Ashla and the Jedi and the Sith wield the Ashla and the Bogan. I am the Bendu, the one in the middle.
Right.
Implies that there is a light side and dark side.
I am the Bendu, one of the days of the week on Coruscant.
Brandon, do you remember training in Schmodown that Ashlar was actually the name of the planet in Planet of the Apes, the Tim Burton one? That was not Earth; it was on a planet, and I think it was called Ashla, which is a weird.
I don't remember the planet having a name.
I will say, I think it is interesting to get back to the question about light side and dark side, because, like, if I use the Force to pick up a fork, am I using the light side or using the dark side? Like
that's you're looking.
No, I know. Right. So it's a simplistic thing, right?
Yeah.
So, like, what I'm saying is, at its nature, the Force is just. I don't think you're inherently light or
disagree.
Light or dark.
I knew Sean was going to disagree with that.
Sure. And that's. So I just think the Force inherently is
like Sean. Frank. If you had the Force, right? So for me, like I always say it, like if I had the Force, I would definitely use it for some dark side things to help me out. But like I wouldn't want to take over the galaxy or kill anyone. But would I like force, something like a roll of hundreds that I see on the bank? Brandon. And like just grabbing him behind the back? That's fine. I'm not killing anyone.
Can you give him a once you start down?
Once you start down the dark path, forever.
That's actually a Yoda line, buddy.
Destiny. I am doing it.
Once you start down the dark path.
Is it not? Is it not? I hear you do it Obi-Wan so much. In my head, it's Obi-Wan.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yoda. I know
always
it.
does Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
On that.
I've been doing a lot of Obi-Wan where he
marketing.
shouldn't belong today.
I
mostly laziness.
Because I think you're looking at in the moment.
Sure.
Right? You need to look at the greater whole and the greater sum of the parts. If Vader picks up a fork with the Force, he's using the dark side.
Okay.
Right? If Luke
I like the way you framed it, yes.
And so it's not a matter of the act, because you're answering the question, right? is it how you use it? The question is it how you use it, or is it what you're tapping into, right? Because a Sith is using the dark side of the Force, right? They are tempted and they are, in a manner of speaking, corrupted or tainted by the dark side of the Force.
Okay, hold on. I want to make sure I'm understanding his question in terms of, are you inherently...
I don't think it matters what he's asking. I think it's a...
I think I agree.
No, I mean, well, no, for sure. No, for sure. Well, because like that's where like I'm approaching it from what I'm trying to think he's asking
his main question is...
Are you born a dark side user? Are you born a light side? Is that not what he's asking?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Because his question is there a light side and a dark side of the Force? Are there two?
Oh, well,
is there duality in the Force, or is it the nature of... So basically is...
I mean, I think there's the light, the halfway between light and dark, which is the Bendu, and then the dark, yes, I think
there is a light and a dark. Like, it's not like the other option he's bringing up is like there's only one Force, and you either use it for good or evil.
I think Kino Loy says it the best, right?
I can't swim.
Darkness rises and the light...
I think
Kevin would agree with that.
I feel like if you ask George, he would be like, "It's just a fucking movie."
You're 100% right.
He'd be like, "It's for kids."
Yeah.
Jar Jar steps in poo.
See, I feel like that's something George would actually have a strong opinion on, though.
Oh, for sure.
Right, yeah.
Actually, yeah.
But
I feel like no. I feel like Filoni would, but I don't know if George.
No, I think
would.
George. I think George would, just because like it's about
mumbo jumbo.
Well, George talks a lot about morality, and Star Wars is a lot about morality.
With
and so,
Sean, I think
that's a first.
Yeah, I know. There's a light and a dark, and I think it's made pretty clear in The Last Jedi when Rey is learning how to tap into the Force. She feels both the light and the dark.
Well, and
separately.
And Luke even calls out how quickly she went to the darkness.
More seductive,
right? So yeah, I definitely think there's that well of power has two sides.
I believe it's called the Well of Souls.
God damn it, Brandon! I swear to God.
I like that question. That's like a whole episode.
I feel like you asked that to Sean. That's a full episode for sure. We are approaching Final Jeopardy, by the way. An update: they did get the points for that question.
Good,
everybody.
Good.
Well, then I'm gonna give a quick easy one.
Okay.
While we wait for Final Jeopardy, Prodigal Knight 777 asks, "Why isn't every day May the 4th?"
Well, you see.
Back in the...
Did we say up top that
early
this is
years.
May the 4th?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Sean said, "Happy May the 4th be with you."
We didn't do anything special. This is
this is our... Well,
the topic of the Force was because of May the 4th.
Do you think that this is a meme where it's like what is the other ones? Let's see if we can remember the other ones people added. So you have Revenge of the Fifth. I got the Final Jeopardy. Here we go. Which year did Disney purchase Lucasfilm for $4 billion? Oh my God.
2012?
Jesus.
That's Final Jeopardy right there.
I mean,
going
it's a
back,
Lucasfilm question.
Oh boy.
No.
back
This is
to
what I was talking about. Oh my God.
Oh, sorry, Frank. I didn't mean to do that to you, pal.
It's okay. I can survive. I can live. I will. This is... Star Wars has taught me to
Kermit the Frog
have
here.
patience with those.
Or maybe two.
around
We
you.
need to get Star Wars is going to teach you to get new friends.
Luke Skywalker came on the Muppets before.
Oh my gosh.
Disney is a pathway to many abilities some would consider monopolistic.
Okay.
I like that 2012 question because I think a lot of people will think, when it came out, 2015.
Yeah, they might do that.
Yeah.
Might be a good thing.
Cool.
May the 5th. You have Revenge of the 5th. 6th. I saw a funny meme where
you sent it in our chat, I think.
The second part of Prodigal Knight 777's question is,
who talks first? You talk
when
first?
is Kevin going to be on the show again? He is missed.
He is missed. Yeah. When are we going to have Kevin
I
on the
don't
show?
think I don't think I'll ever be on the show.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to ever have Kevin back on the show. Heather Locklear, however, is here tonight.
How was this logistically, by the way? I'm curious. So what do you see your plan there, Frank?
For what?
Did you see me? I don't even know. I know
see you, bro.
Yeah.
I saw you pick
right
your
there.
nose, man.
You're right there on the screen.
Your backdrop looks great, by the way.
Yeah. I love Coruscant.
Yeah, it's Coruscant at night.
Yeah.
GIF.
I think it looks a little more like Little Coruscant.
Coruscant. Yeah.
Actually, Little Italy would be right.
No, hold on. Kevin, what planet is Little Coruscant?
Nar Shaddaa?
Hey.
Ding, ding, ding.
Hosnian
We have a winner.
Prime.
Ah,
Look
he
at
knows.
that.
My
Look at
man.
that.
My man.
else we
I've
got?
never. I hate KOTOR. What am I talking about?
What else? What other question we got?
Ooh, Darth Mono wants to know: does a sound saber exist? Well, I'll tell you what, Mono. I sound sabered a girl in college,
Wow.
and that's called a callback.
That's
boys.
a callback. That's a callback. A sound?
I
Does
don't
this
think
even
so.
What is
exist?
a sound saber?
Like a lightsaber, but instead of using
But
light
it's sound.
sound.
It just sound.
It's like the Yellow Card song, Lights and Sounds.
lights and sound. Lights and sound.
I
yeah.
Hey, my phone died.
Oh, no.
Wow.
I was so sad when I discovered that the Yellow Card song "Ocean Avenue" wasn't
Listen.
about the one in Santa
Yeah, it's-
Monica.
I'm about
but it was
to.
about the one in
Florida.
Florida.
I'm
No,
about
it's
to.
Florida,
I'm about
yeah.
to drop some science.
Okay.
alright? So there actually is like a sound weapon. Like so, you know how like when you make sound.
Yeah, the Geonosians have one.
Well, okay, yeah, it's kind of like that. You know how when you make sound, it goes in all directions.
Sure.
Well, you can actually make it go in one
One
direction.
Yeah, and it makes a
Wow.
pew sound
Yeah.
like on Geonosis.
So imagine a lightsaber instead of light coming out in one direction, it's sound coming out just in like a shaft, one direction.
yeah, when I think
Like
of
the
the
band.
He said,
when
"Yeah."
I think of the band One Direction, I also
Yeah.
think of a sound shaft,
You don't know you're a lightsaber.
a shaft of
If only
sound.
You heard what I can hear when I stick my sound saber right up to your ear.
Oh no. Oh no. What is this episode? Oh my god.
Anyways,
It's
so
it's
much
really
on that.
there's sometimes where I'm glad we only have like 30 listeners.
They tied for
Whoa,
three. They tied for
whoa.
third place, by the way.
Really?
Because I ditched them in the middle.
Oh, that's
and then
right.
They caught me at
Damn.
the end.
Yeah.
But they did. They're all. We as Scoundrels Inc. Congratulate yourselves. They got $10. So,
Hey, look at
Nice.
that.
good job. That is
May
for
the
Brent.
fourth
Hey,
with you.
that's the
Brent.
most we've made on this podcast.
We have
Not this episode.
we
If
have,
it
a,
got demonetized.
we have a couple more questions here before we wrap things up.
So I think a sound saber would be possible,
yeah. Okay.
but you'd have to like stick it in people's ears for it to be effective.
Damn.
Wow.
Ehite Nama asks, given his species
It's-
appearance
excuse
in
me.
Survivor,
It's IT Nama.
IT Nama, sorry.
You figured it out finally, or did she?
No,
No,
that's
no.
what I decided it was.
IT Nama, given his species appearance in Survivor, do you think Cloud can speak fluent Basic? Also,
No,
will he show up in the new Rey movie?
Claude does not speak fluent Basic.
Okay.
We're talking about the guy on the Millennium
Yeah,
Falcon.
that's Claude.
Well, yep.
Yeah, you remember Claude.
Cloud.
By the way,
Cloud.
Let can we all say he looks like a Claude?
Yeah.
He
does.
Yeah. They knew what they were doing.
Claude cannot speak fluent Basic because he's a useless lump of a character. I do think he'll be in the Rey movie, and if he's not, you know what? I'll be disappointed.
Okay. Yeah, honestly, why not? Like,
and he's a
No
Jedi.
way he's in the Rey movie.
totally is.
I want to see more. I think Claude went with Rey.
I think he's like at the concierge desk in the new Jedi Temple. with Cloud.
I think he went to go like I think he went to go help. You know, sometimes
Yeah,
That's
Penthouse
him
Suite.
saying you need to go upstairs to the library.
yeah. And another thing, Turgle.
Yeah,
Turgle's
Turtle.
great.
Turgle. Yeah.
Turtle. I'm a turtle.
All right. Next question comes from Kivan Smeets.
There's more
Oh,
questions.
I did one. I forgot. Yeah, let's talk
You
about
think they
you're
named
here.
barbecue/buffalo mixed wings mambo style because the wings are dancing together like the mambo, and that's what twirls the wing flavors? Also, what is Porkins' favorite wing sauce? You think all wings report in? What a nerd!
I think
hate it.
I think Porkins.
He seems like a lemon pepper type of guy.
He
kinda guy.
actually likes to get the Asian zing wings from Buffalo
I
Wild
think
Wings.
I'm with you there. I think Jack's a real fan of Asian Zing.
Oh,
I think
okay.
he is.
Asian
I
zing
think he's a
dipped in
fan of
ranch.
Mambo style, dude. I think he's a Mambo guy.
He
He's
might
a
be Mambo.
Mambo.
I think he dabbles in the Mambo. I think he.
I could see Biggs Darklighter being a Mambo guy.
Biggs is definitely a mambo guy.
But I also personally think Jack probably eats too many chicken wings.
well,
right?
sure.
Like he's getting like a 5-pounder and they're in a bunch of different flavors, right?
yeah.
I want
Okay.
wings.
We got one last question.
Do you like how I default to calling him Jack? Like, is it
Frank, you didn't answer. Oh, you said lemon pepper.
I said he seems like a lemon
He
pepper
might
guy.
be a garlic parm guy.
You know what?
Ooh.
I'm gonna.
You know
I
what?
think I like that.
A good
I mean, no
garlic
judgment
parm
here.
wing.
Judging from his weight class, he might like them all. Let's be honest.
He might like him well. You know what? on a future episode of Scoundrels, we're going to go through every
We're
character
gonna
and
go
figure out
through all
what
of
kind of wings
We're
they
gonna go through
like.
all
We
of
should
Red
eat wings
and Rogue
on
Squadron.
camera while we do it.
All of Rogue Squadron. We'll call the episode Wing
All-
Squadron.
We'll,
Yeah,
we'll call it All Wings Report.
Wing
In.
Do
Squadron.
you think Blue Squadron only has blue cheese?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, had.
Green Squadron has matcha wings.
Oh my God,
Oh.
matcha. Oh boy.
Gray
Janine
Squadron likes them uncooked.
That was a great question. Who submitted that question? That was a great question.
Jesus.
Kevon Smeets. I don't know. Anyways,
If you've read my question,
if you, what was your answer, Kevin? What did you think he was?
he says
Oh, it's
Mambo.
Oh, Mambo. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Janine DeBean.
I agree. I think, by the way, I think Biggs, you're right about, is a Mambo guy.
Biggs totally Mambo guy. I think Biggs is absolutely Mambo.
Because you
guy.
can see that Mambo sauce getting stuck on the
Yeah, on his
staff.
mustache.
Janine asks, had Rian Johnson's idea been given the opportunity to be expanded upon, what do you think the galaxy looks like where anyone could have the
I'll tell you this
Force?
much: it would look a lot clean because everybody would use their sweeps and they would be sweeping because you have
Oh,
Force
wow.
Broom Kid, so
Yeah.
the whole galaxy would be pristine.
Pristine.
Well, is the question
I
where
don't-
everyone has the Force or where anyone can?
Anyone
I don't.
can.
I don't think what he set up was like abandoned or anything. I just like
yeah, I think
the idea still stands. Is like people are born every day. Some of them have the Force.
Yeah.
Some of them don't.
Yeah, I don't think that was like an original thing he put forth. He just was like, hey, just
Well,
so you
I
all
will say-
remember, like anyone can.
I will
the
say
Force.
in Legends it was very hereditary.
Oh, was it really?
Oh yeah. In Legends, it's super hereditary because they really nailed down on the like I have it, my father has it, my
Oh,
sister
sure,
has
sure.
it.
I think like if you do have it, it's very easy to pass down. It's like being a wizard. But
Or
sometimes
having it, yeah,
you're just like
venereal
born
disease.
and you're a mudblood.
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, never mind because Palpatine's kid was a clone, so that's a whole
But-
different type of thing.
That would be a squib. He was a squib.
Oh, squib. Sure, if you want to
That's
get
a
all
different-
technical. If you want to get all
But-
wibbly-wobbly about it, yeah.
I will say there is an idea out there that anybody really could use the Force if they like practice enough. Like it's just easier
For the most, I mean, like yeah, for
it's
the most
easier for some people than it is for others. Like the more midichlorians you have, basically.
part.
So you're saying Porkins can use the Force and then
If you wanted to,
summon
yeah.
wings?
I think he probably has like a couple midichlorians swimming around. So like I bet like he probably would take 10 years to study, and he could like maybe like lift a rock, but that's it.
yeah, it's just Luke had fast swimmers.
Yeah,
Look at advanced members.
he had at least like 10,000.
Well, it's like
midichlorians.
I've been listening to the Rogue Squadron series, which stars, of course, everyone's favorite Rogue Squadron pilot. Say it with me,
Wes.
Wes Jansen.
L.
You're gonna say Wes Jansen.
Wedge Antilles, no relation.
You're gonna say, doesn't Jansen die?
Tally.
Does
Tally
he?
Lintra is canon, not legends. Corran Horn, everyone's favorite Rogue Squadron
Corran
pilot.
Horn.
Corran Horn.
Corn
My
horn.
favorite
Isn't he
food
in,
and my
isn't he
favorite
in
Instagram.
Kenobi? That was the theory.
He is in Kenobi, yeah.
Good.
Who is a Corellian?
Can I just say real quick that Brandon is like the bumblebee of our show. He only speaks in, like quotes.
He only
That's the only way he can.
Oh, I
communicate.
thought you were making a buzz joke.
Buzz buzz. It's
Oh my gosh,
behind me now.
Sean, you
in
were
the
saying.
past.
I don't know. Corran Horn's force sensitive.
Let the past die. Kill it if you have to.
Yeah, so we're running pretty long here, but that's been fun, and we did some Star Wars trivia,
Guys, I
with
hope,
Kevin.
and I hope the audience enjoyed the shaft of sound that is this podcast.
Jesus, yeah, this one's a little wacky here.
These
Stick
are-
it in
these
your
are the best
ears.
kinda- I will say these are the best kind of episodes.
Yes,
I agree.
totally. We've been all over the place. Brandon has recited like 17 different movies in Star Wars and otherwise.
I'm pretty proud of that Kitty Mundi one.
We're gonna need a bigger Star Destroyer.
Why do they like everything is like named after like killing a star, but like only like one of them actually kills a star. Star Killer Base kills a star. The Death Star does not kill a star. Star Destroyers don't kill stars.
I never once
Durin
saw.
piloted the Sun Crusher. I always like that name, Sun Crusher.
I never once saw Star Killer kill a star. Jedi.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, but did you see Luke walk on the sky?
You know, there's an achievement in Fallen Order or in Jedi Survivor called Skywalker that you get for being off the ground for 60 seconds.
Really?
I just think, what is the
At the
Empire's
end,
obsession?
does he look at the camera and say, Ray Skywalker?
He says, "I'm Cal
Yeah,
Skywalker."
Cal Skywalker. Did you decide, by the way, if it's Cal is short for Calvin or Cal? I heard one of you guys.
It's short
talk
for
about
Calvin. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Calvin
I thought it was short for Caltech.
I checked his underwear and it said Calvin Klein.
Have you seen the crossover they're doing, Calvin and the Chipmunks? It's gonna
Oh,
be crazy,
no.
dude.
Oh,
Cal
God.
Kestis with a bunch of chipmunks.
Before we get out of here, Sean, tell the people what you've been up to. What's going on with your life,
I've been
man?
streaming on the on twitch.tv/Sean Sully. We're doing Jedi Survivor for the next probably week and a half.
If not more.
No.
Well,
Jedi
for Frank, it
Survivor?
might be the next 2
Oh, I mean,
months.
yeah, before we... yes.
Jedi Survivor for the next week and a half.
Why?
And
What's
then,
going on? What's this unspoken thing?
and then we will be doing.
A full deep dive into Survivor, the story, and all that.
No, I'm not talking about.
What?
We're going to be doing Jedi Survivor for the next week and a half, and then we're going to dive into Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh, well, okay, yeah.
And then after
naturally.
that, we're going to do Elden Ring.
Sure.
And then I'm going to have a special episode talking about Star Trek V: The Final Frontier.
Bing, bing, bing.
And, its
And then
importance.
I'm going to be streaming. Oh, you're going to love this. Peppa the Pig interactive game on Xbox. That's all I play. I get this expensive Xbox machine, and if she's not asleep and she sees me on it, she's like, Peppa Pig! Or dinosaurs, anything. Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow.
You got to get her to. Well, it's Xbox, right? You should have got a Switch so you could play like some old Nintendo games like Mario.
I have a Switch, so.
Okay, play some Kirby or something. She'll fall in love with Kirby.
Oh, Kirby's great. It's what I look
Yeah.
like when I'm at Wings with you guys, when I'm inhaling the wing.
Big round pink and inhaling wings.
Yeah.
You're not pink. You got a nice little olive going.
Yeah, hell, thanks to this $35 light I got. Yeah.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for this week's edition of Scoundrels.
Where they could find Brandon. I want to know where I could find Brandon besides space.
You can find me hanging out with my new cat, Clem.
At Brandon on Psy on
Yes.
Twitter, Instagram, TikTok,
And
LinkedIn? I don't know.
LinkedIn.
no,
You don't need that
SoundCloud?
anymore. SoundCloud link.
stay away
yeah.
from my LinkedIn.
Guys, go. No, don't.
I don't want to see any of you on my LinkedIn.
Do you have a LinkedIn?
I mean, yeah, from years ago.
From years
I
ago.
don't
Yeah,
use
who,
it.
like...
And you can find Frank on Truth Social.
Oh! All right, you are off the show.
Scoundrel. Scoundrel. I like the sound of that.